is my name. Sub-County Public Health Officer, State of Uganda.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Opioteno from the Department of Communication.
Good morning. I'm Annie Keruko from the community-based organization.
Morning all. I'm Meg Sene Certificate from Burundi, Kisii County.
Good morning. It seems we are not happy. Why? God is good and is always good all the times. Good morning all.
Good morning.
All protocols observed, the county government executive and all stakeholders gathered here today. I'm humbled. My name is Kennedy Kombo Nyambega, Chair for Kisii Persons with Disability Society and the County Senior Retired Disability President. Welcome. Let's be jovial so that we may actually achieve our expectations. Thank you. With me is a personal assistant, just a name. Thank you.
Good morning. I don't know, my personal assistant, Kennedy.
Good morning, all.
Good morning.
Captain the protocol. I'm a captain from the CEO. West
Put it
closer.
closer.
My name is Chami Robert. I'm the CEO. West
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm deaf. My name is Edna Maake, PWD representative. Hello, everyone. Let me take this opportunity to introduce myself. My name is Gladys Kerubo Mokora. I'm a sign language interpreter based here in Kisii County. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Wilson Yakweba, County School Health Program.
Good morning, all. My name is Robert Ongeri, Deputy Director, Water, Kisii County.
Salamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Amjambo.
Hatujambo.
Kwa majina Mzabro na Bao Yaro, Chair Kisii Internet Network. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
I'm Alhaji Ramadan Hussein, the Secretary, Supreme Council of Kenya Muslims, Kisii County. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. My name is Grace Serrano, CC Land Statistical Planning, Housing and Urban Development.
Jambo nyote.
Jambo.
My name is Elijah Obori, CC Education Innovation and Manpower Development.
Thank you so much, and for the essence of our CCS, also various different categories. Let us to appreciate and welcome you all for this meeting, and each and every person for this meeting. Today's meeting is Menstrual Hygiene Management, which is we are talking about the whole of Kisii County. And now today we shall have our ministry next week. That's why we are called for this meeting, not only not to prepare and be able to understand the so to next week. Without this a lot of time and be able to leave and talk about Orengo, so that we can do a presentation before our guests by starting moving out and find you have no longer done the presentation. So Dr. Paul Orengo, our USA project, we are around please. This looks like not around. This is the host. We are working with them. We have Dr. Nyama Kukuritano. So, our productive people is the presentation. We are one of the hosts and the ladies. We should be for your presentation so that guest services, because the key one is the presentation of the university that we can be able to start it very fast. You are ready for your presentation of overview of this community. As she is preparing herself, I like remind to move behind for our colleagues that are going to do this and introduce themselves, who they are and where they come from. So the only time is the same people about it. Follow your presentation.
Good morning. My name is Dr. Kisii, Kisii, Good morning.
See you introduce yourself? Oh, okay. So you're welcome. Obviously, it's about menstrual hygiene management. And we have different stakeholders, obviously, who are around with us, and we want to do a presentation so that we can start at the same time. We have skipped Dr. Paul Orengo, who is on the way. We hope that it will be here in less than 10 minutes, so that we have for now the reproductive health coordinator, Elizabeth, to be able to take us through overview of her outlook at Kisii County. And I hope from there we would like to somebody else to be ready for what she would later, and later about the consultation. However, Elizabeth ready yet for protection? And before us, she's preparing herself, I will give what CCMs to be able to give us a word so that they can be saying hi to us as she's protecting.
Good morning again. Mine is just to say that I'm glad to be here, and I was waiting to have an introductory statement from what makes our day today, but because I have another meeting, I think I should just say that I'm happy to be here and to be in the bracket of the discussion today on menstrual hygiene management in the world. It is not anything that is strange. I know it's because we are that others are, and that is the God's creation. And of course, the science has come in, and we have a chance to know how to treat ourselves as ladies, as girls and women, and therefore it's important to coexist. And hygiene is very key in our way of living, so that we make our world a better place for all of us to. And therefore, I may not be able to say so much. I would just wish all of us a very fruitful discussion and enjoyable day as we learn on how to carry ourselves around, and also the impact hygiene creates in all of us environment, and also that it is very important to keep the environment clean and habitable. And therefore, wish all of us a very fruitful day and discussions as we make this world better for all of us.
Thank you, my colleague, for those comments. I'm also happy to be here. As I introduce myself as Kisii Education, it means that I have education background. And when I looked at the topic of menstrual hygiene management, I realized that I reflected and I looked at the school situation, and then we are addressing issues dealing with adolescent girls, probably between the age of 10 to from the age of 10 onwards, menstruation starts. It can be earlier, depending on the type of food somebody is eating. So then, this is a serious issue, especially to the clinicians, because there are so many health issues which go on with this condition. Here is a young girl who from nowhere starts to see blood and blood flowing. And then it means that these people need to be prepared by those who have undergone this, and especially the clinicians, so that they are made aware that at a certain age you may experience this condition. And when such a time comes, this is what is expected of you. So then it becomes important that this topic, this issue, should be discussed with these young people and also with the parents and guardians, so that they are well prepared for this occasion, so that when it happens, it does not appear as a surprise. That is my thinking. And then when it comes, I think at times it can be a surprise, and the flow may be too much. Somebody is saying mine came for 2 days and it dried. Another one, 3 weeks. So then that is where the health clinicians come in and then try to understand where this problem is. Is it something, is there a disease which is likely to occur? Why is such a condition taking place, and the like and the like? I think you know more about that. So I'm saying and underscoring the fact that this meeting is important. Our people, our young girls, and our parents of these young people need to be sensitized on this natural issue, so that it is accepted, so that it does not affect the young girls, especially those who are school going at this age, because it's an occurrence that can be very shameful, especially if it occurs when somebody is in a classroom situation and this person is not well prepared for it. And you can see the kind of embarrassment and the psychological torture that can come about due to this. And then, due to such a surprise, such a young person may end up losing very good hours of learning because again, if the sanitary pads are not going to be there, the parent probably was not prepared to provide. The schools were not prepared to provide these sanitary pads. Then you can see now other children are learning while a few are at home struggling with this natural occurrence. So mine is to thank USAID to have come up with such a program whereby a lot of sensitization is to be done to the players in the industry, let me say in the health sector, and parents, and what needs to be done due to this awareness. I'm also aware that at times, if the health clinicians are careful monitoring this issue, if somebody comes and says, I've been seeing my menstruation for the last 4 weeks, as a health clinician, what are you supposed to do? What kind of advice are you likely to do? What is the implications of this in the future? Probably from that point, you can pick it up and see if there could be a problem which may also crop up into adulthood. Thank you so much for attending this meeting, and ours is to wish you and productive interaction so that we can be in a position of getting this information to our youngsters, and also enabling people to talk about this issue without fear, and also generally disseminating this information so that we can have a healthy menstrual management. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. The CCM education the timetable. We are already at 10 and we are the sector education, health, decent work, and well-being. You realize that even in our working areas, as Kisii County, we cannot say that we have a good 39,430. Our girls start menstruating at around 9 years. From 9, 10 up to 15. It can go as late as even 17 before they start. And the other women of reproductive age, that is 15 to 49, are 335,000, which forms a population of 23.6%. So this means that a significant number of women in Kisii County menstruate every month and even daily. So they face many challenges, including unsafe and inappropriate sanitation and hygiene. So we are here to discuss the barriers, but I'll just mention a few, and during the plenary we will add what happens in our communities. One of the major barriers is negative cultural practices and norms, preventing the adoption of proper menstrual practices. We know what happens in our Kisii culture, and I leave it unto us in the meeting that we discuss during the plenary. And a lack of adaptive menstrual health information sources for persons with disabilities. The people with disabilities have been left out in several areas, and we hope that from this discussion we come up with solutions to move forward. And then lack of information. Generally, our people don't have enough information on menstrual health and management. And again, lack of male involvement. Our Kisii culture, when you talk about menstruation, most men will keep a distance from the discussion. And then lack of adequate and affordable sanitary hygiene products in our poor communities around. Young girls and women may use poor sanitary products, which may even end up in leading to infections, in the urinary tract infections and others. And then inadequate sanitary facilities. For example, even in our working areas, in schools, we don't have private changing rooms and enough water. And then poor menstrual waste disposal practices. Sometimes when we move even along the streets, we even see pads around, even in clothes. Sometimes you see a dog running around with a used pad. So what are some of the enablers? Like I said, our meeting here is to discuss some of the enablers that will improve menstrual health. One of them is the existence of social and political goodwill for MHM programming. We can see from here that we have a presentation from our executive office, the presence of our CEC, which is a good show. And then the existence of partners for MHM support and implementation. We have the Western Kenya Sanitation Program with us, plus others. And then we have existing MHM champions that promote advocacy on MHM issues. And we hope to come up with many champions in Kisii County. We hope that our first lady will be here, that she will be our champion number 1 in MHM. And then existing programs and activities to integrate MHM, including the schools and other stakeholders. This is as we identify champions, this is one of our chiefs from South Mugirango. Anybody from South Mugirango can identify this is a chief who is a champion for MHM. We had male involvement, one of the trainings where we trained male and female, and many male were presented, and they really appreciated the training. We continue creating awareness on various types of sanitary products through MHM Lab. As you walked in, I know you saw some of the MHM products as you walked in. We also do school health sensitization and health talks on MHM. We move around schools with support of our partners, and sometimes through the initiative of the Department of Health, we move around and give health talks in schools. We also do sensitizations in chiefs' barazas. As we move around schools, we ensure that schools have access to water for MHM. Most schools still don't have water around for MHM. but we are advocating that our schools are equipped with water and proper sanitation areas. Still, we move on integration of MHM into various sector programs and activities. These are stakeholders undergoing and training on MHM. Stakeholder engagement, we have held several stakeholder engagements like we are doing now. That is my presentation. Thank you.
Can remember colleagues said to be happy. Those claps are very thin. Can we? No, let's rub our hands and clap better for this wonderful presentation. Let us be happy about it. We're here now talking about menstrual hygiene. And you know, men, you cannot separate it from menstrual hygiene. Because all of us, we work together to get babies. And sometimes when we are now pregnant, we reduce the menstruation. When we are not, all of us, we must be able to understand even how to take care of our girls. Can we give our good brows our clap? 1, 2, 3. Another one. Another one. Thank you so much. And I told you I'm very strict with time. Can be able to see this is time for tea. And I know our CCM of lands will be moving out. After tea, she might not be able to come back. So for her, we want all of us to appreciate her for this commitment and teamwork of working together. You can be able to see that all of you, Ministry of Health, cannot work alone, but in partnership of each and every person in Kisii County Government. And the land plays a very key mandate with us. And that's why even most of our disposables of sanitary towels are all over in the Kisii County, even the streets. And I know now, as we have now come to talk about menstrual hygiene, part of it is to train our girls and even our community on how to do proper sanitary waste disposals. May we clap for her, because again, she's going to give us even big grant for Kisii County to have even practices where people will be trained and hosters. Even have a space for us. Kisii so squeezed, so we want land to build more facilities for Menstrual Health so that even people can go and champion and have refreshments, trainings on personal hygiene as a whole. May we give her applause of a clap, a very good one for coming. In fact, she came on time, really on time, as a best practice, and all of you. 1, 2, 3. Thank you so much, Madam CCM, and Madam Grace, for this wonderful coming and being with us. And without wasting time, then I'll be allowing us to go for a cup of tea. And I'm requesting we use at the most, this is already 10:20. If we use 20 minutes, that will be enough for us to take tea. And during tea, we can meet again and talk more. And exactly at 10:45, we should be seated so that we continue our program, that we can be finished by 12 exactly. So one of us to pray for us for a cup of tea, and I'm pointing for one of us to pray. We say disability is not inability. And I want to appoint him to pray. Already he has known himself. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this gracious moment that you have given us. And as we are here for a special purpose, MHM, we ask for wisdom and knowledge so that we may do that which is required of us. We are now about to leave for tea. Bless the tea and bless us all until we come, so that we may proceed with other programs during the day. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you.
I think tea, Elizabeth is served where? Next year? Normally they've been serving us this side altogether. May you request that we can know where our tea is served. Who have not signed the attendance list, please sign. floor. Yeah, we can use a lift, we can walk. So whichever you feel comfortable, it's in second floor, so we can serve ourselves. Then we come back in 20 minutes. Thank you, everyone. I wish you enjoy your tea and feel happy for this specific meeting. Thank you all.
It is necessary to adopt new strategies, to avoid taking risks and to be well informed, but also to attract prosperity using the right remedies. Socially, we will more open, we will socialize more and we will extend our circle of friends very carefully though because the flower of outside love can bring a third person in, who can destabilize the couple. The stock market is going to be more profitable in the summer and especially in the fall months, and 2019 is going to be a year of new discoveries health-wise, a year that encourages us to be more careful about any possible issues related to heart and circulatory system, stomach, pancreas, and this is why it is recommended to take into consideration a balanced diet and relaxing activities, but also to avoid sleeping in the west sector, especially the pregnant women and the elders, and stress. Over the last decade, the global economic crisis had a strong impact in Europe, but also in certain regions of the US. European Union helped many countries to deal with the economic difficulties and to set the foundation of the so-called bank union in order to make the banking sector more secure and reliable. Over the course of 3 years, Nostradamus has written over 900 of quatrains and centuries in which he foretold the future. In these works, Nostradamus presages the future of the world, 70% of them being fulfilled to date. He predicted Napoleon's reign, the World War II, the rise of Hitler, John F. Kennedy's assassination, the moon landing. In one of the quatrains, Nostradamus talks about the sky on fire, the new city, huge lightning, and two brothers torn apart by chaos. Many scientists who have analyzed this quatrain concluded that it talks about the September 11th attacks. Here are Nostradamus' predictions for 2019. 1. According to Nostradamus' quatrains, in 2019, some European countries will deal with floods of extraordinary magnitude. Among others, the countries that will suffer the most damage are Hungary, Italy, the Czech Republic, but also Great Britain. 2. Globally, both the European countries and the US will deal with issues regarding not only the dilemma of managing the immigration but also with the increased number of terrorist attacks. 3. According to Nostradamus' prophecies, the increased religious extremism in the Middle East and in different countries and regions of the world will lead to disorder and wars, which will force many people to leave their country and to try and find refuge in Europe. From a place though to bring famine. From here will come relief. The eye of the sea like a greedy dog. For the one shall give oil and the other wheat. Here, the text doesn't refer to organic famine, but to a spiritual famine, taking into account the migration of so many Christians to other religions and sects, out of the desire to know the religious truth. It is about the spiritual hunger. The sea of people will decide to embrace Christianity. 4. Nostradamus predicts that the climate changes will continue to affect the planet, and the political leaders will come to an agreement regarding the reduction of air pollutant emissions. We shall see the water rising, and the earth falling under it, portended the prophet for 2019. 5. The climate changes are common, and the hurricanes that will occur in different regions of America will shape the dreary landscape described by Nostradamus. There will be many Category 1 hurricanes, which will hit the US during 2019, bringing winds of 40 miles per hour. The Americans living in Florida, Texas, and New Orleans must be prepared to face the bad weather. As Andrew Cuomo, the
the AWS scholarship, I wouldn't have been able to.
Hi, how was your tea? It was nice and others are keeping quiet. How was your tea? It was bad. It was good. Yeah, so at least we ate a potato. The potato is good. I don't know whether now Dr. Paulo Orengo has arrived and started able to introduce himself so that we can know him, and then from there we'll be able to proceed. We skipped your presentation because we were not around during the session time. Oh, I'm hearing that there is a presentation, and by that extension you're able to introduce yourself, and then you go straight to the program. Overview of USAID.
Good morning. I'm not Dr. Paulo Orengo. Paulo Orengo will not make it. Maybe he might join us in the course. Sorry. He might join us in the course of the day. My name is Neville Okwaro, and I'm the Menstrual Hygiene Management Lead for the USAID-funded Western Kenya Sanitation Project. And also I support matters of gender, youth, equity, and social inclusion for the project. Okay. I'm Neville Okwaro, and I'm the Menstrual Hygiene Management Lead for the Western Kenya Sanitation Project.
That was energizing. So to understand about thank you for the energizer. Now you can come back.
So was very popular when you were growing up.
Yeah, it's an energizer to understand Kenyan, where we come from. So you're welcome again.
Asante. So as I was saying, I'm Neville Okwaro, and I'm the Menstrual Hygiene Management Lead for the Western Kenya Sanitation Project, which is a USAID-funded project. The Western Kenya Sanitation Project is funded by USAID, and we are in existence for 5 years. We've already started our operations, and we will exist up to 2027. And we work in 8 counties in Western Kenya. That is Busia, Bungoma, Kakamega, Siaya, Kisumu, Migori, Homa Bay, and Kisii. And basically what we do is we really want to look at how do we promote the uptake of sanitation and also menstrual hygiene management products and services within these 8 counties. And we do this from a paradigm of a market-based approach. And why did we choose a market-based approach? We chose a market-based approach because the traditional methods that we've been using before have not been working. Just a case in point, the government has been distributing sanitary pads for some time now, and it's anchored in the Basic Education Amendment Act of 2017. The allocation for 2017-2018 was 470 million. The following financial year, there was an allocation of 470 million, but it's important to note that for that particular year, there was no single sanitary pad that was bought by the then Ministry of Gender that was implementing that program. And later on, for this financial year, it has been reduced to 260 million. And this is why, for us, we looked at menstrual hygiene management differently. It's not sustainable to go about distributing sanitary pads. You distribute once, then you disappear and reappear after some time. We really want to look at how do we strengthen businesses who are engaged in sanitation and also menstrual hygiene management. How do we work closely with manufacturers, the distributors, the retailers, and ensuring that all these products are available within reach of the consumers. And as we do that, we also look at matters of accessibility of the products. We look at matters of affordability of these products. To a point, no one should make a decision whether to buy food or menstrual product. So what is it that we can do differently as we pursue this market-based approach? One of the things that we've done is we've had we've conducted a study just to understand the menstrual landscape within the 8 counties you are working in. And also at the same time, as I've mentioned, we are closely working with some of the entrepreneurs who are stocking or even making some of these products. And I know while you are getting into the room, you saw a wide array of products. Most of you are only familiar with the disposable pads. But we also have reusable pads, which you are able to buy, you are able to use, wash, and dry in the sun, and reuse them later on during the next period. And at the same time, we have products like the tampons and also menstrual cup, which are inserted inside the vagina just for the purposes of collecting blood. So we want to work closely with all these manufacturers to ensure that the product that you prefer, you are able to get it within reach. And at the same time, we are also closely working with the county governments because for the purposes of sustainability, there is no way that we can succeed without county governments. And we want to look at what is it that can be done. Are there regulations, policies, or standards, or any document that the county will want to develop just to streamline matters of sanitation and menstrual hygiene management? And I believe we've already had discussions with the county of Kisii, so that even if they want to domesticate the national menstrual hygiene management policy, we are there to support, and any other document that deals with sanitation or MHM. And maybe lastly, as I conclude, we are also very keen on looking at how do we strengthen private sector involvement in matters of sanitation and menstrual hygiene management. We'll be working closely with financial institutions so that if by any chance they are able to provide and have very affordable loaning products or even financial products for some of our households, and also at the same time the businesses that we are closely working with. So we are really looking forward to the discussion that we are going to have here. I'm here with my colleagues. Some of them were not here while we were introducing ourselves. We have Bill Okaka, who is our communications director. We have Imelda Oiro, who is the menstrual hygiene management coordinator for the Kisii cluster. And we also have Faith Masika, who is the menstrual hygiene management officer for the Sia cluster. That is the counties towards that side. And thank you so much for even allowing us to attend this occasion. And we are looking forward to the commitments that are going to be made. And as an organization, we just want to let you know that we are ready to walk the talk. The only thing that we are waiting for is what is it that the county would want us to support so that we move forward with them. Thank you.
Better applause of a clap. 1, 2, 3. Another one. Another one. Thank you so much for that wonderful presentation. And we humbled, and from here on to hand over the mic to the county public health officer to invite the Director of Public Health of Health and Sanitation. For those who came late, and the presentation of Dr. Paul O. Barengo. I'm Gladys Aminga, Chief of Health, Kisii County Government. We're happy to have you here. The Western Kenya Sanitation Project, USAID, to be here in Kisii County. This is the program we have been missing for a long time. But I think this was God's time, and God's time is the best. We are now humbled for you to be here. We shall be able to tell you what we need to do for us in Kisii County Government so that we can work together in this journey of menstrual hygiene sanitation. And I can be able to see them working around the clock to be able to start a presentation of by Dr. Nkware on why invest on menstrual hygiene management, opportunities and gains. And then we can have a branded session on menstrual hygiene management gaps, barriers and opportunities. And as we are going on, I know Madam C is on the way. We want to see whether our His Excellency the Deputy Governor might have find time to come and join us with this schedule. His Excellency the Governor had an urgent meeting in Nairobi, So we want to see whether His Excellency the Deputy Governor will be around with us. And with that, Dr. Nkware, I want to hand over the County Public Health Officer to invite the Director of Medical Services Public and Sanitation. Thank you everyone for listening to this session. God bless you.
Thank you, Madam CEO. As we usher in the next presenter, I want to observe that we are here for a very important meeting and deliberation. Everybody who's here is a stakeholder in what we are doing. So as we progress with the presentations and the discussions, at the end of it, we want to tap what each stakeholder is going to assist us with so that we can move ahead. We can break the silence, we can avail the products, we can dispose them. So I want to take this opportunity to invite Dr. Nkware, the County Director of Public Health and Sanitation, to make his presentation. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I think it's afternoon, eh? It's still morning. Yeah, so good morning. So my name is Dr. Nkware Richard. Thank you, Mr. Herrera, for inviting me. There are officers who came later. Probably you didn't get to know them. I think Dr. Marita and Dr. Matiko.
They had introduced themselves, but might be the chiefs, the area chiefs who have come late. They're the ones who introduce themselves, and other guests who know themselves. But yeah, CEO KHRH and Dr. Marita.
Yeah, if you came later and you need to introduce yourself, please, you can stand up and tell us who you are and which organization you are representing, if any.
Good morning.
Good morning. Karibu.
Morning. My name is Joaquim Nyamwaya, Chief Virongo location. Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Dula Shilton of Ghana.
A very good morning to everyone. My name is Emmanuel Omondi, also from Ekobana. Thank you.
Karibu sana. So, thank you. Now, I'm speaking after Nevima spoken. I'm challenged. Nevima from Western Kenya Project is the guru of menstrual hygiene management. So when I'm told to speak after he has spoken, sijui nitaongea nini, though he didn't go into the nitty-gritties, I was asked to briefly speak on why invest in menstrual hygiene management. And for your information, we are not here to make presentations. We were here to have a dialogue, which is the most important aspect of this meeting. So what I'm going to present is just to look at what is available and to inform the discussion that we are going to have after this. So briefly, we are going to look at the reasons why we should invest in menstrual hygiene management. I know Elizabeth must have made a presentation when I was not in. What is menstrual hygiene management? Because you cannot have a dialogue if we don't understand the topic. Did Elizabeth tell you what is menstrual hygiene management? Chief amesema no. Who is here who can tell us what is menstrual hygiene management? What it entails in full? Is it buying a pad and using it and throwing it away? Who can try? All answers are correct when an adult speaks. Don't be afraid to give your view.
I think it's very simple. It's about how do we keep fit, especially the young girl. How do we keep her fit during the menstrual cycles? How do we facilitate her so that she may be comfortable in the very period? And what products do we give to the respective beneficiary in this kind of subject? It's about management of the menstrual waste and keeping fit to our young and of course the able ladies and mothers in this subject, the MHM. Thank you.
Huyo ni msomi. Ameongea juu ya solid waste management, ameongea juu ya availability of products, ameongea juu ya keeping the girls what? Fit and clean. Good. Yes.
I want to add that hygiene management is the way we can handle our product, the end product of ourselves as human being. I think if we approach it from that level, avoiding the word menstrual, then we will just know that how do we handle our product in the best way? How do we collect them? How do we dispose our product from the human being? That's what I can.
Okay, how do we dispose of that product? Ataki kusema which products.
You call me blind. So for one to know what you are talking about, you should go to specifics. This person is blind, he has no sight. This is MHM weights, then one understands what you are talking about. Thank you.
True, thank you. Any other person who wants to try? There is a youth.
Yes. For my understanding, I think these are practices undertaken by individuals to maintain cleanliness and address the challenges associated with menstruation. Thank you.
Okay. Cleanness, yeah, and any other challenges associated with menstrual hygiene. Read for us what we have there. If you can see.
Women and adolescent girls are using a clean menstrual management material to absorb or collect menstrual blood. That can be changed if in privacy as often as necessary, using soap and water for washing and washing the body as required, and having access to safe and convenient facilities to dispose of used menstrual management materials. They understand the basic facts linked to the menstrual cycle and how to manage it with dignity and without discomfort or fear.
Are we together? If you look at that definition, it has several components. One is menstrual material. So there are different products, okay? Number two is the privacy. Like in our schools, the question is, do we have the privacy for the girls? Then, sanitation, having soap and water. Another aspect of this definition is access to safe and convenient facilities for disposal after use. Where is that material taken? Then understanding the basic facts about menstrual cycle. You cannot manage your menstruation, manage it properly without really understanding a few facts about the biology behind the menstrual cycle. So basically that is the full definition, and if you are talking about menstrual hygiene management, then all those aspects must be involved. What does that mean? It means that the Ministry of Health or the Department of Health cannot sort out issues of menstrual hygiene management without involving other stakeholders. Are we together? And that is why we call you here, so that we can have this dialogue. Next. Let's look at these statistics. In any given day, like today, ikiisha, 300 million women worldwide will be menstruating today. 300 million. I want to show you why this topic is very important. And yet we have been keeping quiet, including the healthcare workers. The cultural taboos and practices have kept people quiet, and yet it is a very sensitive and important issue. In total, about 500 million lack access to the menstrual products and adequate facilities for menstrual hygiene. That is worldwide. What about our county, Kisii? The population of 15 to 19 years is 335,000. And the population of 10 to 15, so is 39,430. So if you add the two, between 10 and 49 years, you know, this is the age where the women menstruate. We could be having about 400,000 women menstruating every month. 400,000 in this county alone. Hatujaongea county ingine. How many days do girls and women menstruate per month? Do they change their pads per day? 3 times. Average? 3 times. Is that the average? 4. 4 times 5? 20. 20 times 400,000?
800 million.
the safety, and even human development, because they miss school very often, then they don't perform well in school, and of course that will affect them in the long run. Now, what is needed for effective management of menstrual cycle? We have talked about water. You cannot handle menstruation without water and sanitary facilities. Sanitation and hygiene facilities, affordable products, information on good practice, and a supportive environment where they can manage menstruation without embarrassment, without stigma. And here, our focus is mainly in schools. I'm happy we have representatives from schools. Most of our girls are in schools, and these schools lack facilities to facilitate proper menstrual hygiene management. Okay, next. And that is why Nyakweba, among the things you're supposed to, Nyakweba, stand up. Nyakweba is a school health coordinator. Among the things you're supposed to inspect is whether schools have adequate facilities to facilitate the girls. Yeah? Now, I know this slide is a bit busy, but if you can't see, like this part here talks about, basically we are looking at opportunities that are available. Yeah? And from your various sectors and departments, you can see which opportunities are available for you. Now, for example, quality and sustainable menstrual materials and supportive materials. Demonstration on how to use private sector and social enterprise delivering quality and affordable products. Now, you could be an entrepreneur in this county. We have opportunities for you to produce, for example, the reusable pads or any other products that is used. I told you how many pads are needed per year. For example, if it is pads, 8 million. 8 million. Mnaangalia hiyo biashara. 8 million per month alone. That is a huge business what? Opportunity for whoever is interested. And training the girls, and supporting them, demonstrating on how to use. We always assume that girls, once they reach that age, they know how to use that pad, and they know how to dispose it off, and we assume that they know how to clean up themselves. So those are opportunities. Now, for example, as a county, we need to remove market entry barriers for the private sector so that they are able to operate with minimal, for example, licenses or any other business impediments. Reduce the price of these products so that it is available to the girls. Okay? And you know, once you make it more affordable, more girls are going to buy them, and therefore you're going to make more money. Improve accessibility, and that is why I think the Western Kenya project model of going the market, market-based, trying to tell the consumers what is available, how they can get it, and trying to go through the entrepreneurs to ensure that they avail the products, market their products at a reasonable price, so that most of the girls can use those products instead of using things like vitambas and blanketi and I'm told that mattress, you know.
breaking stigma and enhancing female-friendly facilities. You can be an NGO and you want to do advocacy at the village level. Talk to wananchi so that people can break the silence. You could be a champion for the county and spread this gospel. Then collection and bathing facilities with water, lights, convenient and private disposal options and management system for menstrual waste. You could be a partner interested in supporting schools to have these facilities, or come up with a waste management model, because I think that lacks completely. Imagine even in our offices, Lois and Elizabeth, Chief, unasikia hiyo? Even in our offices, we don't have. I would be very concerned where these products are going, Dr. Matiko. In our offices, ideally we should be leading from, but they are not there. I don't see them. Okay? Then we also have issues of menstrual hygiene, health promotion. That is still educating either the girls or even male involvement, educating them why they need to be involved. Okay? Address harmful cultural and social norms. That still entails going to the communities, talking to the stakeholders, even up to the household level, because a lot of stigma is even within the household level. Next. Now, what are the gains if we invest in menstrual hygiene? We all know that girls miss school. You kweli? Yes. Girls miss school. A number of girls miss school during that week. Either they don't have the product, or if they have the product, in school they don't even have a place where they can change their products. Even the toilets don't have doors. They actually open. They don't have water where they can wash their hands. So many studies argue that inadequate sanitary facilities affect girls' experience at school, causing them to miss classes during their menstruation or even drop out completely. Schools that have female-friendly facilities and incorporate information on menstruation into their curriculum for both girls and boys can reduce stigma and contribute to better education, okay, and better health outcomes. So this is one of the sure gains once we invest in menstrual hygiene management. Next. Health. When girls and women have access to safe and affordable sanitary materials to manage their menstruation, they decrease the risk for infection. Okay? This can be cascaded effects on overall sexual and reproductive health, including reducing teenage pregnancy. Can somebody tell me how we are going to reduce teenage pregnancies if we invest in menstrual hygiene management? Yes?
Managing is very important because it makes the girl child
to have that confidence in herself. When she has that confidence, she will concentrate and she will learn and she will be able to respond even, and she will be able to overcome the risks that comes around her.
Good, because they are confident, they are able to learn, they are able to be in school, they don't drop out of school and go engaging in other
activities, yes.
Okay, we find out that most of the sanitary pads are too much expensive to most of the families, and with this you get that most of the girls engage in transactional sex with men in order to purchase sanitary pads. So when we put much effort and invest in menstrual hygiene and management, we can avoid teenage pregnancies.
Thank you. That is what I was looking for. These girls, actually, a number of them access these sanitary products by engaging in transactional sex. Either the border guys or any other. So if we invest and we make the product available at a reasonable price, then we are going to reduce this significantly. And even maternal outcomes and fertility. Remember, these genital infections can actually rise to infect the uterus, to infect the fallopian tubes, and later on they will have difficulties getting pregnant. Poor menstrual hygiene, however, can pose serious health effects like reproductive or urinary tract infections, which can result in future infertility. I think I've mentioned that. And neglecting hand washing can spread infections such as hepatitis B and thrush. So it means we need to avail water for the girls and women when they are changing those materials or products so that they don't spread these infections. Then gender equality, promoting menstrual hygiene and promoting menstrual health and hygiene is an important means for safeguarding women's dignity, privacy, bodily integrity, and consequently their self-efficacy. Awareness of MHM contributes to building an enabling environment of non-discrimination and gender equality in which female voices are heard, girls have choices about their future, and women have options to become leaders and managers because they'll be kept in school, they'll become confident, and they can make choices about what they want to become in future. Yes, next. Economy. I've told you there's a very big market for these products. So you can build your own wealth or your organization's wealth if you engage in this business. Number two, we are saying that these girls and women, once their menstrual hygiene or management is done well, their dignity will be maintained, they will remain in school, and they can contribute positively to the economy of this country, of this county, and to their own economic empowerment. Yeah, I think I've talked about that multi-billion-dollar industry. It can help generate income and even employment. Girls who drop out of school have limited employment opportunities and often marry early and begin bearing children, further reducing their options for earning an income. Women who lack female-friendly sanitary facilities in the workplaces lose wages for days of work missed during menstruation and are viewed as unreliable workers, diminishing options for advancement. Okay, next. And lastly, we found that 4 million pads, for example, if the only option is pads, 4 million pads per month. Let's do this math again. 8 million, eh? Now let's do this math again. Every year, listen to me, every year. Now we are talking about the environment and safe disposal of the products. Every year, an average human
I don't know what means by average. I don't know whether, Lois, are you average or above average or below average? Anyway, every year, an average woman trashes about 150 kilograms of non-biodegradable waste. 150 kilograms. Sasa nataka tufanye hesabu na nyinyi. In Kisii alone, roughly 400,000 women and girls use an average of disposable and non-compostable pads per month. Tulipata ni ngapi? Hebu jaza hapo 8 million. This.
Yeah, 60 million.
60 million. 60 million kgs, which is 6. We have taken too long. I think that I was just trying to let you know what exists, the challenges, the opportunities, so that as we now enter into the session for discussion and dialogue, we can now touch on those specific areas we have seen. Otherwise, thank you very much, and I'll hand over to you.
Okay, thank you, Director, for taking us through that presentation, why we have to invest in menstrual hygiene management. When I look around at the invitation list, I see a number of participants. And when I stood to talk, I said, each and every one of us who was invited here, you have a role to play at the end of this and onwards. So we are here as the Minister of Health, as the conveners. We have identified the stakeholders. We have the Minister of Lands. We are talking about disposal, we think about the Minister of Lands. When we talk about hand washing, yes, Minister of Lands and the Environment. When we talk about water for sanitation, for proper hygiene management, we have the Minister of Water here. We have the Minister of Culture and Culture, Trade and Social Protection, something like that. Are you here? We have participants from administration. We have participants from the religious sector. We have also participants from Ministry of Education, where we have the bulk of menstruators, the age of 10, 14, up to 25, because they are still in universities, in those institutions. So now that we are here today to engage as stakeholders, we have a role to play the way forward. So apart from that Western Kenya Sanitation Project, a USAID funded project, our supporters to converge here. We have seen the picture from the two presentations. We have seen the status in which we are. And we still feel that there are gaps. We have seen gaps. Like the culture, and the director asked how many men will go freely and pick a sanitary pad from a shelf in a supermarket and take home for his daughter. I think only one or two raise hands. Even where we have families, a wife and a husband, it's very rare a wife to call a husband that unikuchie na sanitary pad. She will make an effort, aseme wacha ninunue mboga, lakini anajua anaenda kununua sanitary pad. Sindio? Those are our experiences from where we come from. Breaking the silence is very key here. How do we break the silence? So that, like cooking with gas. I think, let me use that example. Let my parents rest in peace. When I was introducing the gas for them to start using cooking, they really feared it. Mama ukijaribu kuhakisha hivi, anasema itanichoma. You know, that's something good. And the people talk about freely. There were hindrances. Inibidi niende nyumbani kila weekend kujaribu kumuonyesha how it is not harmful, mpaka akuje kukubali kutumika gas, because I understood the negative effects of charcoal and firewood. Now, this is a sanitary pad, a very normal human process in growing up. A woman who does not menstruate, she is worried when she is of age. Nimefika 14 years, nimefika 15, niko 17, I'm not experiencing periods. What might be wrong? When it comes, it becomes again a burden. Because nobody wants to talk about it freely. Even where people want to talk about it freely, the product is not available. That is where partners like Arachami are invited here to assist us. That is why WKSP is here to assist us if we can make affordability easy for those who want to use. But even if the product is there and that hindrance, that gap is there, it may not be properly be used. Disposal. With those statistics you have seen there, disposal is a nightmare. Where do we dispose them? Because this is not something like you can carry in the open, unaenda unatupa kwa takataka. Hata yule anataka kutupa anajificha mpaka aone hakuna mtu anamuona adispose ama atupe mahali hata ikikuja kupatikana. That is why we see dogs walking with used sanitary pads. So if we can address those issues, we could have moved a step ahead. We could have saved those teenage girls because the father or the teenage girl will easily tell the father unilete sanitary pad, but because where economic status are low na baba peke yake ndiye yako na pesa, even the wife may not be freely talk about it at huyu msichana unajua sasa siku zake ya mwezi imefika umletee sanitary pads, ndio they will have to go around and see how to do it privately. Baba asijue. We want to get out of that scenario so that we talk about it openly. We can solve many problems, teenage pregnancy being one of them. Dignity of women being elevated so that our women experience their dignity, are respected in our community. It is perceived as a normal service, a normal practice. Like when you, even pants, a father going to buy for a daughter, it is not something easily done. Sindio? Baba anaweza pata nguo mzuri, sweater, jacket, anunulie msichana yake, but akipata panti mzuri, hata akiona hii ni mzuri, kununua pelekee msichana yake ni shida. I don't know if it is me who comes from that community where those things are happening. Is it happening all over? Yes, that is now the scenario we want to move out of, so that in a couple of months or 1 or 2 years to come, after this meeting, we are able to report positive indices saying that, oh, that time, even myself, I was like this, but now I can be able to do this. And when I've gone to schools, I have a sensitized them. When I've gone to churches, I have a sensitized them. When I've got to barasas, I think people are now buying the idea and they are coming out openly talking about it. Now, as a matter of fact, we are equal stakeholders in this. Msifikiri hii ni maneno ya Wizara ya Afya. Msifikiri hii ni maneno ya Western Kenya Sanitation Project. We have a collective responsibility to achieve this. We are going to celebrate this day. There are days we celebrate. And there are days we commemorate. You know, when you celebrate something good, sindio? Something good. And there are days we commemorate. Like World AIDS Day. Is it something we celebrate? World AIDS Day. Do we celebrate? World No Tobacco Day. Do we celebrate? A celebration means something good, isn't it? So I want to say that in next year, because annually since 2014, there are celebration, the first celebration about menstrual hygiene management, or world or global menstrual hygiene day on every 28th of every May every year. We celebrate this. This is to celebrate the milestones, the gains we have made in breaking the silence, the gains we have made in making people aware and freely talking about menstrual hygiene management. If you marry a woman for men, does not menstruate, does not conceive, will you be happy that now you are staying? You will not be happy. Definitely you will not. Sindio? Because that is what brings about children. Sindio? Sindio, if that biological function does not happen, children will not be forthcoming. Lakini ikifika wakati sasa hiyo ime happen and you shy away talking about it. Sindio? We want to break that silence within families, within communities, within institutions, within all stakeholders. So that at the end of it, after 1 or 2 years, we are somewhere to say, we were here, we are moved. With the Muslims. I'm not a Muslim. Huh? We are going to share now what is our position and the way forward. Now after here, what will be our participation? How will we gauge how will we report the results when we meet next time? Because we may not wait for another year to come. We may call you in between here to see how far you have gone, what you've done as an indicator that you attended this, you felt there is a gap here and a serious gap, and this is the way you are going to address it. Minister of Water, how are we going to make water available in schools? Minister of Land, is there land for us to dispose? Minister of Energy, is there a way you can assist in incinerate this so that we reduce the bulk of these products in the environment and all that? The Minister of Health, creating awareness, looking at this and that. So I think we are better now to go. After that explanation, we are better to go. The discussion is open. Yes. Lois, tusaidia.
Thank you very much. Mine is not actually to bring a solution, but more or less to explain a situation around that we are facing as a problem of this disposal. We live in town around here, and we have the sewage line, the manholes and whatever. You see, quite often we have blockages within the area, and then when the sewer line is blocked, so there is an overflow, and the whole area is becoming like an environmental disaster. In fact, even recently during the month of Ramadan, while we were fasting, we have a well just close to our mosque. So when the sewage was blocked and overflowing, so there was some dirty water running from the sewage along the mosque. So we realized that well, which is very much reliable within the mosque, like kind of absorbed the sewage. It like entered into the well, and actually it was just a disaster. As you know, in the mosque we need a lot of water and all this before we enter for prayers. So that water was not actually something good. So one thing I'm lacking in everything that we've been taught here is how best to teach these people how to dispose these things. Because when it was, they tried to remove whatever blocked the sewage, it was realized that it was the menstrual pads by the women that were they throw it into their sewage and then it doesn't go. So I don't know, within the town area, those of us who use the sewage system, we are really in problem. I don't know. I want that one to be brought into the attention of whoever is responsible, the public health officers and whatever. There's going to be an environmental disaster there. So what can you tell people? How to dispose of that thing? How can you discourage this idea of throwing it into the... Nowadays we don't have these pit latrines around here. Everybody is like connected to the sewage line. We here within the town. So it's a very, very big problem. I really request that that problem be addressed and we be given the solution. We are there as a community leaders to disseminate the information. But what can we tell them? If they ask you, where can we throw them? What can we tell them? So that one is a challenge to all of us, but I really want to be equipped with the knowledge with which I can disseminate to the people so that we can solve this environmental disaster.
Thank you. Thank you. He has addressed a gap. He has addressed a gap that there is a lot of clogging of sewer lines with menstrual hygiene management products. What can we do to limit, reduce, or minimize the clogging of those sanitary pads and the menstrual hygiene products into our sewer line? That is a gap. Next.
Thank you very much. Mine is a very unique approach on the MHM issues. Number one, of course, we are talking on what our moderator has introduced is about breaking silence. Remember, I'm talking from the perspective of the PWD. How are these people challenged when it comes to the usage, the informative agenda on these MHM, the menstrual products and wastes? And you know, these are vulnerable, almost vulnerable people that may not even afford buying these products. Number two, these people of the PWDs, especially the girls in schools, have no information on how to upkeep themselves, especially when it comes to the experience in when of course they are in these periods. So, talking at county level, I'm actually requesting of the direct engagement of our beloved government, county government, of course with the supervision of His Excellency the Governor and the related departments. Number one, identification of few schools with of course the girl child, and budgetary allocating or making some budgetary allocations on either free purchasing of these materials and making periodical visits to these schools so that we may actually enable these children to know what it means to be kept fit when especially engaging in the menstruation period. Number two, organization of periodical or continual MHM health promotion workshops that would bring together stakeholders so that this information be disseminated to parents with these children, that actually we may break the silence ya hii maneno kujificha na kutowajibika kusaidia watoto wetu ili nao wajikimu katika njia hizi. So it's about our government to organize for periodical MHM health promotion workshops that would bring stakeholders together so that this information reach the parents with these children, and more especially picking on very few children or very few girls that would also take this information to their fellow counterparts. And last but not least, the Ministry of Health, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Lands organize for a county workshop that would bring us also together as parents or adults so that we may make this an agenda that shall circulate from within stakeholders so that we don't unnecessarily dispose the wastes as people that have no information. I'm very much happy to hear that one of my mentor, Mekenya Bobara is one of the very effective mentor who actually put me on track while I was nowhere. So receive my blessings. I heard you introducing yourself. This is one of the most effective people that have disability at heart. And of course, not him alone, but others. So finally, we are approaching the annual celebration day. Let's make this day a reality by, of course, unveiling that which has not been unveiled in the past and telling our people on how to address this issue of MHM, and, of course, relating with the Department of Health for advice on how best manage the wastes as very much.
Yes, next.
Thank you very much, and As I said, I'm Rachami. I'm also part of the stakeholder of this thing. And I'm very happy because for this meeting, we are going to learn more. This is not the first time, and we don't want to have a premium, but we are people to make solutions here. I want to concur what Dr. Nkwara was saying and Elizabeth when they were doing their presentation and the other speakers. The gaps that are there are created by us, and then they can also be filled by us, either positively or negatively. And I want also to say the language also is one of the barriers that makes all these things not work. And we have been using these words, and as make many people not to understand what exactly is taking place. When again we say we have the 60,000 metric tons of waste materials or waste product, then we say they are all created by women by using birds. And that is all of us where we passed. That is not a good word because it also makes people think that women are bad. Women are not bad. They are very good. They are also the barriers of their own. Because when they are in the, when we call them, when they are in the safe side or the same period, wao ndio wanaanza kusema, eti unajua mimi sasa sisikii vizuri. That is another language. Ukimuuliza asikii namna gani, bado still he says she doesn't feel well. Then you find, is she sick from where? Huh? Menstruating is not sickness. So when you tell your husband, now sisikii vizuri, then the husband thinks, okay, I sleep with a sick person in bed. Those are words that are making us to get those gaps. But I want to encourage everyone who is here. And I want to thank the men who know, who have just joined this meeting. It is very prudent. We have alternative. It is only that the policies that are made by our leaders, they are not implemented. If now you see the plastic, whatever, when it was said not to be part of the usage, it is being used and people are just watching. The plastics are not helping us. Afadhali hiyo bad ambayo imetusaidia mtoto asaliwe. So it is us to create a solution. Why? We have alternative. Hii one touch bad ndio imeleta shida. We have the washable, not reusable. When you say reusable again, you make that material to be looked at, it is dirty. It is washable. Something that can wash. How do we wash our handkerchief? Our women, they wash our handkerchief. Our handkerchief are very bad. Tunatoa makamasi huko, alafu, at the end of the day, wanawake wetu wanaosha. But when they are also in their periods, hawatuambii hiyo wanapeleka wapi. You bring it out. Men, we can wash for you. Because we have the washable sanitary kids. Not this one touch. Hiyo one touch, you are abusing the environment. Hiyo daktari alikuwa amesema. We are also polluting the environment. Use the washable. Why are you fearing to wash your product? Why? Because it has come. Hao wanaume wakuambia when they masturbate, si hiyo panty yao wanawash. Kwani unafikiria ni nini? It is like menstruating. So not all of us do that, but when it comes like that, even menstruation, some of us, some of the women do it. So what I'm just encouraging, let us not shy off. Bring this thing on the table. Pigania huko, kila watu wachue. Kujificha, unaenda kujitoa huko, unaweka mahali, it doesn't help. Talk to your young girls and daughters. Talk to them. If you come to my house, you can't know a girl and a boy. They know the product. Me, I produce these washable sanitary towels. I make them. If you want them millions today, I will give you millions. The market, Daktari was saying, I don't have the market in Kenya. I make the market in Uganda, Rwanda, and those areas. That is where I make the washable sanitary towels too. So in Kenya, they make barriers because they don't want to use it. They go for one touch. They say it's okay. And then we say,
the dumping site is full. Wacha ikae iendelee kujaa because people have spoken. Watu wanakataa kufuata maneno. Halafu tunasema serikali saidie. Serikali cannot saidia because if you watch the other lady who was just outside there as options of not polluting the environment. Why are we insisting on one product that you can do away today and the others will follow suit? So it is us to fill the gap and it is us to correct all the messes that we have done. Menstruation is not a dirty game. It's the best. You do it. Do it with your man. When you are on that time, it is the sweetest time. Because it's very hard and then you strain so hard. So if we approach it from that level, it is the best. We can speak it proudly and enjoy it and openly. In schools, I thank the Kisii of Education who was here. Is the one who's having more turns and he has not addressed how those turns to be controlled. So we can help him to reduce the turns by giving our young girls alternative way of doing it. We don't need those waters and that. If the washable sanitary kit, they are very rare. They have never used it. But again, they are saying the environment is polluted. My wife is also a teacher. Is also a high school teacher. Yeye anatumia hiyo. Hii yangu. Hii ingine akiniambia niende kununua wandaji na mwambia sina choo. I have on the washroom. Kwani atatupa hiyo wapi? Sitengenezi hiyo choo ingine. Nimekataa kutengeneza choo kwangu. Sababu ukikuja kwangu kama mgeni unataka hiyo on your period utafute choo yako. So if we print all those things, all things will work possible. I don't know what, but those are cracks of jokes. But the truth of the matter, if we implement those things, it is true, we can fill the gaps, as the Dr. was saying, and we can make a lot of money. Money. I started a small CBO, but if you go to my account, it's all millions. Because I make money from Uganda and other things. That's why my friend Irere knows me so much. Eh? You buy those machines. Hii vitu ya kutengeneza hiyo machine is not simple. You buy them, they are very expensive. You assemble them. You employ people there to work. You are paying them. Si wana kutengenezea sio mimi nakaa huko. I have my laborers and I pay them. So we can create employment, we can create where the vile daktari alikuwa anasema and so forth. Thank you for listening to me and we will continue doing it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Know that they used to assist us carry luggage, but when they became environmentally unfriendly, that is why the government had to do away with the gun bags. So let us receive it positively that this is very normal. This is actually required in normal human life, but when it brings a challenge, we have to mitigate on the challenge. Thank you very much. Maybe your marketing strategy in Kenya has not been very good. That is why you are going outside. Maybe we'll sit down and look at it so that we start with our country so that the spilling production can go outside. And also mentorship on other interested entrepreneurs so that when you are based in South Mogirango, there is another one based in Bobazi, and even production and the cost will be lowered. Yes, madam. Just a minute.
as we are going on with our presentation, it's good to recognize our bosses who are here in this specific meeting. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to appreciate and bring them to speed so that they can be able to understand where we are. Our CCM of Health, our County Secretary, sir, who has come on behalf of His Excellency the Governor, Kisii County Government. We need to appreciate and recognize your presence in this specific meeting. Our chair of the meeting, which is Menstrual Hygiene Management in the Kisii County Government, to be able to do our best in terms of all the key stakeholders around with us. As here we are seated, your County Secretary, sir, we want to appreciate and inform you that we have gone through the program, which I think you have on your hands, and now we are lastly on plenary session on maternal hygiene management gaps, barriers and opportunities, so that you can be able to be brought on speed. And as we have discussed before, we have gone through to understand what is maternal hygiene management, and in a brief snap that it includes a management of our girls or women throughout up to the disposal of the used bads, and making sure our environment is clean, and make sure the girls, the adolescent girls and women are also okay, comfortable, and be able to work or be able to be at school without having the school girl being a dropout because of menstruation. And in such a snapshot, I want to appreciate and welcome you to be comfortable in this specific meeting, sir, so that you might be able to understand the plenary session. And when your time will come, I'll be able to invite our CCM of Health to welcome you for this meeting and give us your blessings. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. You give a clap for them to feel at home. 1, 2, 3. Another one. Another one. Thank you so much. You are most welcome to Kisii County Menstrual Hygiene Management, and it is supported by Western Kenya Sanitation Project USAID, which is they're here for this specific meeting, and different stakeholders around us. When that time will come, also allow them to introduce themselves for you to understand the type of people who are in this meeting. Thank you, and you may continue. I hope you allow us to continue with the plenary. God bless.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I work with the Children's Department, Kisii Central. The status now, the situation is so pathetic. We are having so many girls we have child pregnancy. Teenage pregnancy is very high, and most of the results is because they lack sanitary towels. They come to our office, we coordinate with the Ministry of Education, but for the situation now is very pathetic because the Ministry of Education did not supply enough sanitary towels. I just request the county government of Kisii to coordinate with the Ministry of Education so that how much can they raise, and how much the Ministry of Education can raise so that we can help these girls at school to ensure that these girls remain at school and they achieve their dreams. Is it stereotype or what? Because we have these washable sanitary towels, but most of the people have stereotypes over it. That maybe they are infectious. When they use, they are itching. When they use, they can cause cancer. Those are stereotypes. So I think we should come up with ways of creating awareness to these girls. As for the Children's Department, we always have a Day of an African Child, which is around the corner. And we have the Children Assembly, which occurs every year. And I would like that when we are coming up with this situation, and the day of the Menstrual Hygiene Management Day that is coming at the corner, we request that all stakeholders are welcomed and all members are welcome and all representatives from each sub-counties are welcomed so that we can create awareness for these girls to reduce this gap. Thank you.
Okay. My name is Dula Shilton. I'm from Ecobana, and I know many of you might not know what Ecobana is. So, Ecobana is a social enterprise that manufactures biodegradable sanitary pads using banana. I'm new in Kisii, together with we are students, final year students, and we came in Kisii. Let me call it as investors. We've numerous support from the county government, including the office of the governor, to bring this solution into Kisii County. So I loved the presentation that was previous, and one of the statistics that I missed not to see was and how many girls in Kisii County. Let me now focus on Kisii County. How many girls miss school due to lack of sanitary pads and other menstrual products? Another thing is that we are complaining of menstrual waste. We are in a generation now, me as a young person, I'm in a generation that I won't be complaining of menstrual waste, and this is why we are encouraging sustainability, and that's why we came up with this startup to manufacture biodegradable sanitary pads. All of you have talked about washable sanitary pads, but you have not talked of something biodegradable. I think you all know the meaning of biodegradable. Biodegradable is something that can decompose, something that can go back to the soil and rot. In Kenya, the existing sanitary pads, the reason why they take too much time to decompose is that one sanitary plastic bag in them, and that's why the 500 years to decompose. But we came up with a solution to make biodegradable sanitary pads using banana fibers. Degradable sanitary pads, our pads will take at most some few months to go back to the soil, and this will reduce environmental waste. So we came to Kisii together with the CEC land. She has been helpful to us, and they have managed to allocate a land to the facility where we are going to produce the biodegradable sanitary pads. And to the USAID also, they've been working together with us. Mr. Neville here has been working together with us to make sure that our products are out here. And we saw Kisii County as the best choice. Bananas, because our raw material, our key raw material is banana fibers. This is based worldwide, and last year, I think most of you, if you add or listen somewhere, some students won $1 million in USA with the sanitary pads, biodegradable sanitary pads. So we are them, and we have brought that $1 million USD to Kisii County to come up with this solution and bring change to the girls. I think the solution is to come up with something sustainable. My generation and the generation to come won't be keeping on complaining about menstrual waste. We need to come up with something sustainable.
Thank you, Ecobana. Any other? We have other stakeholders here. Kickoff, you are in the house. I know you are doing a mother child program. In today's meeting or this forum, we were expecting commitments, some sort of commitment that me as Rajami and my organization, now that we are interested in this and we recognize it's a problem, this will be our contribution. One, to the Global Menstrual Hygiene Day celebration. Then the way forward, that how are we going to work towards breaking the silence, reducing this burden that was displayed here, this number of tons think Ekobana has come up very nicely. They want to, they are saying, or they have said they are part of this solution, that now the non-degradable will be a thing of the past when they settle fully and set up their enterprise. I think that is what you have said. So now, how do we go ahead as a team? What is your contribution? The Minister of Health here, their contribution is that they have the personnel. That is why we have converged here. They have the knowledge. They are doing advocacy in various sectors and all that. The county government is here, has given land, has welcomed Ekobana to Kisii. Maybe I expected Rajami to say about if there is taxation, how enable me reduce the tax so that I could produce more and the cost comes down. I think I want us to go that direction. So yes, the media is here. We as the media, do we have the best language to talk so that even when the mother and the daughter and the father are sitting in the house, they will be able to receive it positively? Yeah, yes.
Yeah, I'm Mekenya Bobara from Kisii FM. Thank you, sir. I've never known that I touched your heart at some point. Hata sijakujua, tutajuana baadaye. Thank you. As we are trying to make deliberations on how we are going to effect this HM, as one of the media personalities, I would want to say that in collaboration with others, maybe we will talk later. As media, our role is to pass the information. We are at the center of breaking the silence, which we have heard here, all of us talk about. So I'm happy that Ekobana is here, and Rachami and another manufacturer who may be around. Ekobana is now coming to Kisii. As Kisii FM, which I represent here, I would like to invite Ekobana and other manufacturers. We give them airtime so that this information reaches the people out there, and some other things that may be needed. Thank you.
Thank you. That's a big contribution because it will reach the whole of Kisii population, 1.36 million, and beyond, because there are others staying elsewhere and they get to tune in to Kisii FM. That's a big contribution. Thank you. Any other? Yes.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm Anne Kerubo from KICOP, and we are a community-based organization. We work in the community, we work with the mothers, and our main role, we are eyeing a grant from USAID, and our main role is to try to demystify the myths, and the stigma around menstruation. And when we get the grant, we will help with the adoption of the market-based system so that we can provide pads, and the girls can be able to access the pads, and mothers can be able to sell among themselves, and this will be able to tackle issues around this menstruation management. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm directing a lot of my energies to those people not within the Ministry of Health, because we have been talking. We want to involve you and engage you so that we form a consortium to spearhead this. So don't expect a lot of talks from the Ministry of Health. We expect a lot of talks. Ngao, somebody from Ngao is here? Yes? We may not need cash that you are given 100,000. We may need your approach and a strategy that will make this go very fast. Yes.
Yes, my name is Joaquim Nyamwaya again from the Ministry of Interior. My contribution is, as the national government, as we are ready, because we are law enforcers, and these things. We're talking about HM. The thing of the past, because it has been the ground, it's not done. So we are requesting, as we are sitting on the fence, but now we are come on board to assist one another. Let us be all inclusive in this fight against these fights. So I am humbly requesting we work together as stakeholders so that we eliminate this issue. Again, I am requesting you, as you said, and we usually all our 3 times a month, every sub-location and location, so that people be open and speak to this generation about the issue of MHM. So us, as the national government, we are ready to work with you as partners and assist you as law enforcers so that these issues comes to an end. Also, I'm talking about the issue of environmental. Coming to this meeting, we usually wonder these millions of sanitary pads which you have been saying, where are they going? In the future, we have to put mechanism in place so that we get rid of these fights through the stakeholders who have talked here, so that we get a long-lasting solution. Thank you.
Thank you, Ngao. Minister of Water, they are in the house. Minister of Water, they are in the house. Water is very essential in management of menstrual hygiene. We have emphasized on hand washing, availability of water adjacent to sanitary facilities, more especially in institutions and other public places, utilities, sanitary facility utilities. Maybe a comment from the Minister of Water.
Thank you so much for giving me this chance. My name is Robert Ongeri, Deputy Director in charge of water, Kisii County Government. Actually, I'm happy to be in this forum because water is actually very key in sanitation. Not alone for this one, for ministerial health, but for general hygiene. I can recall the issue of when COVID was so much. Actually, we emphasized on hand wash. Hand wash is very key in schools and any institution or any gatherings, churches, markets. For us to have very good health, we should provide water all across. And this calls for a budget and partnership with key stakeholders. And as a department, we are ready to give technical assistance as a county. And if the budget can allow, we can even try to widen that hygiene provision all across, because water is life and water is hygiene actually. Anything to do with hygiene, we need water, actually even flowing water. So it's very important that we partner and provide water. You can even ask for the schools and other institutions to spare some budget so that we can just make this one a continuous and a kind of life habit in all our institutions so that we can enjoy good earth. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Director. As Ngao, I expected maybe now the number of barasas, because we have barasas, will be able to report back how many barasas have been held, and this has been discussed. Religious, maybe how many congregation has been reached with this information, and they have received it positively. Water, maybe the status of water in the county. Water is a devolved function. What is the status of water in the county, and maybe the efforts that will be put in place to extend the service so that it can reach most of the Kisii County population. I don't know, the CEC education left, but is there somebody who was left behind? The Minister of Education? Minister of Education, I know there is partly devolved, and the other one is in the national government. And we wanted to see about infrastructure, suitable infrastructure where changing rooms and the privacy will be provided so that those girls don't sneak out of school because they are menstruating to go to the push and meet those temptations there. So maybe as we progress, we want to refine those things I'm talking about so that we will come up with a document, a work plan, a comprehensive work plan, so that when we meet next time, we will be able to reevaluate and assess ourselves where we are now and where we will be that time. So, yeah. Lois, it is here.
I'm happy. I'm greeting you all. How are you?
We are fine.
I'm happy to be part of this meeting. My name is Edna Mange. I'm a deaf lady. I want to give my contribution. I thank the President for Disability because in a nutshell, he explained how we are going to approach these matters of persons with disabilities. I also want to thank the Kisii FM for giving the airtime to the biodegradable group to go and teach the community. But now, focusing on the deaf, the deaf can't listen to the radio. We urge the other local TV station to follow the same steps the Kisii FM did and provide sign language interpreters during these discussions so that the deaf can also get to get this information. As I was growing up, I didn't learn anything about MHM. We have so many deaf in school, just same like me. They have zero knowledge about this. So I'm urging the county government or the coordinators, when you'll be creating awareness, you visit these special schools in person so that they can also get to know that, there are some kids with special needs who don't have televisions, they don't have radios. So when you visit their schools, they'll get this information. Thank you. Thank you so much for listening to me.
Thank you.
This is how you'll clap to them. See, the director for culture is aware of this. You just do this and she'll feel appreciated. Thank you.
You can see it is all inclusive. We have somebody who is blind. We have somebody who is deaf. And we wanted this inclusivity so that everyone will feel recognized and included in such a discussion. We don't want to leave anybody out because it is a collective responsibility for all of us to address this problem. Now, I want to observe that maybe the comments we have exhausted the comments, and I want us to go to the next step. Yeah, I want us to go to the next step so that we conclude.
I want to appreciate all of you for the active participation we have done since we started the meeting at around 8:30 or 9 up to now. This is a wonderful team. Our County Secretary, sir, our CCM of Health, we want to appreciate, and for a very special way. I want her to stand and see how people have appreciated her well, because she was not seeing, so that we can repeat the appreciation for those who don't hear. So she never saw behind us. Can we do it again? All of us, hands up. Yeah, she's now happy, you see. That is very good, all inclusive. And also the ones who don't see, like him, we can have him, he's hearing, but he's not able to see. We want also to appreciate people who are having a disability, but not inability. We clap for him for this active participation. He's able to hear, and he can hear the claps. Thank you so much. I want to take this opportunity now, not my time, but to give a brief for our chief guest, so that he can be able to understand that in any given day, we have 300 million women countrywide in the whole world having a menstruation per day. And also for you to understand, in Kisii County government, we also have 400 women in Kisii County menstruating per day. 400,000 women. 400,000 women menstruating in a day. And we are saying out of the 400 women, we use 800 million baths are used every day in Kisii County government. Every month, 800 million baths are used. Taking into consideration that a woman may change 4 baths in a day, and that's how we came to that calculation. You might find that in a month, we use 800 million baths. You can see the numbers we use in Kisii County. And in Kisii County government, the women of childbearing age of 15 to 49 years are 335,668. Those between 10 to 14 years old are 39,430. But the total women who are between 15 to 49 are 305,668. If you add the total of plus 39,430, then you find women in Kisii County government who will be using the baths will be around 374,498. Those are the women under the age of reproductive age who are able to use the menstrual pads. And again, you find that our ages of our girls start menstruating at the age of 9 years because of the lifestyles we have in our various Kisii County and the way we eat. I know Kisii County, one of they say we are more of advantaged in terms of natural food. So, sir, for you to understand that background, we have gone ahead, and this is now the last stage, the peak of the activity for us, so that you can be able to give us your golden speech. I'll take this opportunity to appreciate and welcome Madam Kisii of Health, Madam Leogega, who is preparing herself, and so that she can give us a golden speech. From there, she'll invite our chief guest of honor, who would now give us a golden speech, and after that might be he closes again this meeting officially. But before we do that, it's in good order we're able to introduce ourselves very fast for our chief guest of honor to know the type of stakeholders we have here today. So where is the other microphone? Very fast. Please don't mind. Let us now do it for the sake of the guest of honor. We may start from this side.
I am Elizabeth Nyabicha, the County Reproductive Health Coordinator.
Good afternoon, Dr. Nkwari Richard, the County Director for Public Health.
Good afternoon, Lois Moragwa, WASH.
Good afternoon again. I'm Mekenya Bobara, Kisii FM.
Good afternoon, all protocols observed. I'm Samuel Onguso from the Ministry of Health in charge of nutrition services.
Good afternoon. I'm Juliet Ogucha from the Ministry of Health in the Department of Monitoring and Evaluation.
Good afternoon, I'm Irene Ocharo, Egesa FM.
Good afternoon, Eileen Mamati, Children's Department, Kisii.
Good afternoon, Doris Ondara, Masava, Nyaribari, Masava, CHP.
Good afternoon, I'm Hilton Dula from Ekobana.
Good afternoon, my name is Emmanuel Omondi. I'm the Chief Technology Officer at Ekobana. Thank you.
Chwaki Munyamwaya, Chief Birongo location.
Good afternoon, I'm Caroline Bosire, County Records Officer Health.
Good afternoon, I'm Millicent Simiyu, Kisii County Government, Department of Communication.
Good afternoon, my name is Jadson Manduku, Public Communication Officer, Kisii County.
Good afternoon, I'm Zakaria Ombuki, Sub-County Public Health Officer South Mugirango and acting as MOH South Mugirango.
Good afternoon. Dr. Matiko Giabe, County Director, Medical Services.
Good afternoon, Douglas Arege, Director, Youth, Gender and Social Services.
Hamjambo, jina langu Mwalimu Bino Nyambane, Directorate of Culture, Kisii County.
Hamjambo, naitwa Sami Omingo, Standard Media Group, the office.
Good afternoon. My name is Faith Masika. I work for the Western Kenya Sanitation Project as a Menstrual Hygiene Management Officer.
Good afternoon. My name is Imelda Oiro. I work for the Western Kenya Sanitation Project as the Menstrual Health Management Coordinator for Kisumu Cluster.
And I'm Lokwaro, and I'm the Menstrual Hygiene Management for the Western Kenya Sanitation.
Good noon, I'm Gertrude Omoyo, South Mugirango Butabo DCHV.
Good afternoon, Anne Kerubo, Kikop CBO.
I'm Mary Kiseve, CHF Nyaribari Church.
Good afternoon. I'm Florence Tirimba, Sub-County PHO Nyaribari Church.
Your Honor, sir, County Secretary and Head of Public Service, CCM Health, the Western Kenya Sanitation Project, and all protocols observed. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
My name is Kennedy Kombo Nyambega, who is the Senior Advisor in Matters PWD and retired Disability President and Chair of the Kisii Society for Persons with Disability. Thank you and feel welcome.
Good afternoon, Edwin Omwenga, Personal Assistant Kennedy.
Good afternoon, I'm Rachami Robert, CEO, Grace Community Center, Kisii.
Robert Ongeri, Deputy Director, Water, Kisii County.
Good afternoon, I'm Wilson Nyakweba, County School Health Coordinator.
All protocols observed. Zabon Abaoyaro, Chair, Intelligence Council, Kisii. Thank you.
Before. Okay. So, Chanda.
Hello once again. My name is Edna Maake, Representative Persons with Disabilities. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gladys Kerubo Mokora. I'm a sign language interpreter working in Office of Persons with Disabilities, Kisii County. Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. Kisii County. Thank you.
And I think it's also good to
Good afternoon. I'm Alan Obat, Media Department, Manatha Productions.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
John Amadi.
To talk again. Allow me, sir, to came a bit late during our plenary to give their remarks and contribution towards this menstrual hygiene management.
And might be the roles they have and any contribution they might be able to add together, because they are very important departments which are part of us, and together we succeed. So I'm able to see a director of youth and culture around. You're welcome. Introduce yourself, and then you can be able to give your remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam CEO. Once again, I'm the Director of Gender and Social Services. As a department, we are joining together with in matters of inclusion and gender mainstreaming to ensure that our programs are reflective of the focus of ensuring that girls and women are included in all our programs as we journey to address menstrual hygiene challenges within the county. Thank you so much. My Director for Culture could also be able to speak, because culture is important in understanding.
Thank you for the opportunity on protocol. Serve in our cultural perspective, as we have always been discussing with this group earlier on, there are myths and spiritual and ritual issues that make some things difficult to comprehend, but we are working with the chiefs during Barasas to bring closer the elderly and the people who believe in their culture, because the culture of a people is in their hearts. Sometimes to convince them that a man should buy her daughter some items becomes a difficult thing, but then we are trying, and we shall make sure we succeed in this venture. Thank you.
I think you've forgotten. Children Department? Yes, she's there.
As I said earlier, thank you for giving me this opportunity. I'm Eileen Mamati, Children's Department, Kisii Central. This matter is very important and we should take it very seriously. We are losing most of our young girls, and it is raising questions more so in the whole society, but more so in this Kisii County. And I believe that we're going to work as a team. We are going to coordinate. We are ready to support in ideas and in everything that we have, so that we ensure that we move on and we achieve what we want. Hope next time when we will meet, we will have positive response what we have achieved, as we have planned what have we achieved and what are we planning to achieve in the next 1 year to come. Hope the day will be successful. Thank you.
I think then that is done. Lastly, I'm Gladys Aminga, the Chief Officer of Medical Services, Public Health and Sanitation, and that's where we have reached. The only challenge also I give as members, that we remember also we have the vulnerable group of children. That means the total orphans who are not able to get support in terms of sanitary towels. And as we go for a way forward, which already most of us we have said, I'm begging that all of us, we put our resources also together to support the total children who are orphans, who cry and sometimes they don't go to school because they don't have parents who they should cry to, especially when they have started seeing the menstruation. Imagine day one, a child sees menses. She does not have a mother to ask what is this. She becomes confused and she drops out of school. And then at the end of the day, because she does not have the pads, even the usable ones, the best person she can get is a boy who will advise her wrongly and tell her, I'm the one to buy for you pads and you have to pay for them, in the essence of a compensation. So how best can we be able to assist also these total orphans? How can we find them and identify them, to even have classes for them so they can understand themselves early enough before they reach 9 years? That also has been a challenge in me, to understand these children and take care of them. And in our various homes where we are able to understand all those children so that they can also be supported in terms of finances, even of provision of those necessary equipment. So we have also realized that now we have reusable pads that they can be given to our children in a subsidized price. And for them, you can wash through water. That's some of the things you saw outside there. So with all those remarks, please kindly, wherever at home you are, as we go also for community mobilization, that those children who cannot speak, who cannot talk, and who cannot say their challenges, it is us to handle our hands together and be able to bring these children and support them where we are. And the youth and the children department, you remember the children are with us, please identify them, even if it means all of us trying to put something small for them and supporting them. That's why I think also we have a lot of challenges. And then dropouts, and then they get pregnant as early as 10 years and 9 years, sometimes twins again, which is a very painful scenario. Thank you so much, each and every person. Now may we all of us arise to be able to invite our CCM of Health to give us our blessings for this meeting and be able to also welcome our guest of honor, Madam Kisii Health. We are standing up to have a clap for you until you come, until she comes. We shall be clapping like this until she comes. For the sake of her, we can clap like this until she comes. Until she comes, until she comes, until she comes, everyone until she comes. Thank you so much, Madam Kisii. Welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chief. As you move out, Madam Chief, thank you for this warm welcome. And thanks for even taking us through the view. You have briefed us very well, given that we came almost late for some reasons. So thank you. So I know you are moving out for some reasons that you have whispered to me. So I wish to release you. I just wanted you to hear that I appreciate the welcome and the overview that you have given us. So you are free to leave. Thank you. Madam Chief, and then we are here, our guest of honor, Bwana County Secretary, and we have our officers here of various capacities. Director Medical Services is with us here, then Director Public Health. We have our CHMT around. We have our able partners with us. We have our stakeholders of different capacities. I know we have EcoPan around who are dealing with the biodegradable solutions, and they have come with very good solutions for the same. We have Rachani, Kikop, media of different sectors. I know we have Kisii FM, we have Egesa with us, We have been having citizen, I believe they are around, and any media that is around with us that have not been able to recognize. We have Ngao with us and the various departments with us, some who are with us at this particular moment and others have left, especially the Department of Education. I'm aware they have left. They have been with us since morning, but they left for some reasons that were well understood. And then we have Department of Water. Of course, I know the CEC is not with us, but is well represented by the department. We have the Department of Lands, who was with us in the morning, but left for the same reasons that is well understood with us. And then we have the Department of Gender and Youth, who have already spoken, and thanks for that. I don't know whether I mentioned KECOP as a partner, that they are with us, who are under the Western Kenyan Sanitation Project, under the umbrella of support of USAID, Department of Culture, and Children's. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Yeah, feel welcome, all of you, for this meeting, and thanks for this organization, for this meeting that all of us must have changiad for us to be here. So, asante sana. And our guest of honor, who is our county secretary, who is here on behalf of the governor, karibu sana. We recognize and we feel your presence in this, and we feel honored for you to be here with us, joining us here on this day, 19th, a day that we are preparing ourselves in this week. It is a week that all the stakeholders have come together to ensure that we prepare well in the whole of this week, the day that is ahead of us on 29th, a day that will celebrate menstrual hygiene management that will occur on 29th. So we are here to brainstorm and maybe prepare as we create awareness the whole of this week for the activity that I've already mentioned. And in that, we are looking to break the silence that all of us have already mentioned. Sorry that we missed some of the presentations that we really wished to see, but we have been given a brief of the same. So, Bwana CS, we are here to break the silence on menstrual hygiene. Breaking silence means this is something that we have not been talking about before, simply because we feel as in culture, it is something that we cannot mention. Sometimes we feel that is an abomination to talk about it. Brings a lot of stigma because of the way we were brought up in terms of our culture. Remember, we were being told that nobody should know that a woman or a lady is in menses. I remember back in our days when we were being called for Form 1, you know, that is the time unaambiwa what to come with. Nowadays we tell them the pads, we give them the number. But those days nobody could even tell you. We were not being told by our mothers. I remember I was not told. But with learning from the peers, I came to learn that you have to carry something. And carrying this something, we could think back, how are you going to, where do you, once you wash, utaweka wapi? Watu wataona. But remember, it was just a girls' school, but still it could give us a lot of trouble. Giving us trouble, and yet we know that every girl in that school goes through under the same process, that is menstruation, but still we could suffer. So in that scenario, I remember what I did is to cut small pieces of clothes, then unakunja round. Hata kupeleka kwa chararani ingewezekana, because who could give you that money? For one, even the mother doesn't know that you are doing that, but you are struggling. I remember nilikata into pieces, nikashona all around, because already I had a letter I knew I was going to school and a boarding school. So all imaginations how I'm going to carry myself out with the menses. So cutting those pieces na kushona around ili ionekane kama an handkerchief but not an handkerchief. Then I had to struggle and make sure nimeshona maua katikati hapo inakaa kama ni kitu ya meza. So that as you wash, nikianika, nobody will know that it is a pad. So you can see that stigma those days. So we are here today breaking that silence because remember we could not talk, we were struggling. So today we are here talking about it, coming up with the solutions on the use of pads, giving people information today that this is a normal process in life for any lady who has reached in menarche. It is normal for women of reproductive age, which we have mentioned already, 15 to 49. So that is why all these stakeholders are here today. And in that sense of breaking the silence, we also want that people know that they can reach, in terms of access, they can reach the products for use. There are various types of products nowadays to use. Of course, we have hizo zenye siko, always call them, you know the names. Men might not know, but nowadays most men know. Because when I walk around the supermarket, I see men shopping, wanaweka pads ndani. I really feel good when I see men doing that. Meaning, information is reaching us, and in fact, that is one way of breaking the silence. So we have different types nowadays that are there for use, and we want to make sure that accessibility is there in terms of reaching them and affording. So this accessibility is through affordability and even accessibility in terms of reaching them. So as we know, in terms of affordability, life has become very difficult nowadays. People are talking about sugar and unga and not the bads. And because of that, that is why we think that talking about this is very, very important. And coming with the solutions from EcoPank, I know they have that solution, biodegradable, maybe bads. That's a good thing to talk about. And I know in the market, there are those reusable pads that can be used so that once they have been used, they can be washed and then be used later. In that, it protects our environment because we are not going to dispose in an awkward manner. Remember, even if we have to dispose well, not everybody will embrace good disposal. You know, we are human beings, and we are so many of us. And from the number that we have been given here, that we have around 300 million women in the, I don't know whether it was in the world, but having learned that 400,000 women, a million women, have menses in a day and changing pads at least 4 in each day for every woman, you can see the kind of waste that we are producing. Our sewages, they normally block them. And not everybody is careful, wengine wanatupa everywhere. So disposal here is very important. Bwana CS, that is why we are here today talking about this. So without going such much far, because I know you have been here since morning, I want to appreciate everybody for the contributions that you have managed to give us on how best we can be able to manage our menstrual services. I want to appreciate you for that. And I know we are going to look at the way forward on what we have agreed, because we are just here to come up with solutions, and those solutions are the ones has brought us here. So I know we have talked much, but at least before we finish, we must put them together, summarize them in terms of our way forward. So as a Department of Health, we are here. We are ready to support where necessary. And actually, it is a departmental event, and that is why we are here in good numbers. So, me being in the Department of Health and well close to the government, we are here in support of the same and involve us where necessary and in good time enough, and we are ready to support where we are needed. So therefore, with those few or many remarks, I wish to take this opportunity to welcome our County Secretary who is here on behalf of the Governor. May it be to introduce himself, give his remarks. And was he to close the meeting? Yes, I wanted to be guided carefully because I saw here that there was a way forward. Yeah, so that is why I needed that guidance. So maybe I can say he introduces himself, give his remarks, and so that I'll give you the mic and let us know the next way forward or the next move. So with those remarks, Bwana CS, I wish to welcome you to come and say hi to your people and probably say a word. Thank you. Karibu sana. Let's stand as he comes. Let's stand with a lot of energy. Okay, I know those ones you have done because Edna really had to see our, was his name? Oh, Kennedy. Kennedy, I know you have had the claps. No, I just want you to hear the claps once again. Edna has already seen the clap. Let's do for Edna to see the claps once again. Then, very good. Okay, now let's clap for our CS. Loud enough. Thank you so much. You are welcome, County Secretary. Welcome.
Thank you, Waziri. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon once again. Edna, how are you? Good? Fine. I'm good. I'm also fine. It's fine. You're good. Thank you. We like you. We appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. That is for Edna. Thank you. Nyambega, kuja mbele. Leta yeye mbele. Leta yeye mbele. Leta yeye mbele kidogo. Saidia yeye. Nyambega, how are you? Good. Nyambega, you're a good man. Please let's give Nyambega a better round of applause. This is a wonderful man. I don't know how many people have met him. I'm meeting for the first time. Unajulikana. Mnampenda pia? Imagine unapenda sana.
In fact, I'm very unique, sir.
You're unique.
Yes. You have God given.
Yes.
Just as you are.
Yes. That is why
specifically
I picked you to appreciate you. Even when you hear him introduce himself, even when he was introducing the CS, you could hear a leader, a good man, a man of God. More so, this is an asset we have in our county. Thank you, Mr. Nyambega. Once again, let's appreciate Mr. Nyambega. Thank you so much. Najua governor anakupenda na amenituma hapa. Na every time governor anamuona mali yako, lazima amtambue. Na governor huwa anamwambia unione nyuma ya sijui Dr. Matiko. Tusaidiane na Dr. Nkware tumuone nyuma ya. Thank you so much. Thank you. Asante sana. Thank you. I have had the opportunity to work with very many departments in the course of my career, Waziri. I've worked with the Department of Disability. Who is from disability here? I had somebody. you want from there. I've worked with the Department of Water, somebody from Water, Ministry of Water. I've worked in National Government Water. Children Department, I've worked in the National Government, Ministry of Children Department. I've worked with Lands, somebody from Lands here. She just gone. I've worked with the Ministry of Lands, very many ministries that when I meet colleagues from those departments, I feel that how we contribute to the national agenda, even in this issue of menstrual hygiene, is extremely important, very, very important. Let me start by introducing myself. My name is James Ntabo, the County Secretary and Head of Public Service. I joined the county government of Kisii. The other day I've been saying Nyamira because I stayed in Nyamira for so long, 3 years. But I'm now winning myself from saying Nyamira. So I joined the county government of Kisii in the month of February, and I'm still learning and running around to get to know people. How many are civil servants here? Let me just see by civil, whether you are national or county. Good, we have a good constituency here. Thank you. Let me see the other actors who are non-civil servants. Let me see. Non-civil servants, thank you so much. Thank you so much, and God bless you. I am here precisely to represent His Excellency, the Governor, Honorable Simba Arati. Very soon we should be giving him a commendation, isn't it? Yeah, Sindio? Yes. To make a remark and close this important occasion on his behalf. He traveled to Nairobi for official function, and of course the CC has mentioned it. So I have something here written that I would want to read it because I find it very nice, well done. It says this: ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here in this momentous occasion to discuss the importance of menstrual health among our young girls and women. Indeed, menstrual health is a challenge in our county, and therefore the need to have a conversation on how to cushion our young girls and women against the harmful effects of poor menstrual management, health management. The challenges facing menstrual health management cannot be managed by the Department of Health alone, because menstrual health is a multi-sectoral issue that forms a critical component of sanitation, education, health, decent work, and well-being. As a county, we are facing various challenges which include negative cultural practices that prevent the adoption of proper menstrual hygiene management practices, lack of standardized packages, lack of adaptive menstrual hygiene management information sources for persons with disabilities, poor menstrual waste disposal practices, poor sanitation facilities. For example, some toilets in schools do not have doors, and inadequate hand washing facilities in schools. Ladies and gentlemen, menstruation is a natural occurrence in women that need an integrated approach with priorities such as water, sanitation, and hygiene, that's wash, as a precondition for menstrual hygiene management, and ensures equity, social inclusion, education, sustainable access of the sanitary products with involvement from both the private and public sectors to promote sustainable, appropriate, and affordable menstrual products in the facilities which are safely disposed. Ladies and gentlemen, you have been invited to this meeting to give valuable input on how to deal with poor menstrual hygiene and to seek your technical and financial support. Lastly, this meeting marks the beginning of a series of engagements on various ways of tackling the many challenges menstrual hygiene is posing, and forge for solutions aimed at reducing the lack of information access, menstrual affordability, appropriate sanitary products, poor sanitation facilities, and lack of disposal of menstrual waste. Proper disposal of menstrual waste. By doing so, we will improve the health status of our girls and mothers, raise the level of equality among women and girls, and build capacity for freedom of choice on menstrual management materials, as well as contribute to better menstrual hygiene management through health research and education. Thank you, and God bless you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Nyambega claps loudest, and we appreciate him for that. You know, Nyambega is a very happy person every time you see him, and yet he doesn't get to see our smiles back, but I'm sure he feels the smiles back. So you appreciate. I mean, we appreciate you. We appreciate all those who could be having disabilities are different, the Ednas here and everybody, because looking at how they appreciate life with some challenges, we indeed appreciate the Nyambegas and the rest. Now, this is the speech by His Excellency the Governor on this occasion. And listening here when we came in, and with Waziri and the Chief Officer, thank you for the welcome and everybody. Today, I must confess I am converted. You know, in these positions that we hold, I think we need to target top management buy-in. Because when Waziri was coming for the governor and me now, we were talking a bit about menstrual hygiene, and I was like, almost like dismissing, you know, with a light touch, you understand. So when we were coming, we talked a bit, and I know the first time this activity was taking place somewhere in Mbita, I don't know, was it here or was in Nyamira, so I was asked to facilitate people to go to Mbita. I don't know, it was here. It was here. Then I also participated in some activity. I did not appreciate the role of this menstrual hygiene the way today I have sat here, listened, and gotten converted. So in your embrace movement to embrace this menstrual hygiene in this journey of getting people to appreciate, to understand, today I'm a convertee, and I promise that I'll use any small opportunity that will come as a result of both my office, official, and private work to be an ambassador of the menstrual hygiene. Just slightly back, and Waziri, you didn't mention it, sure. You know, I was trying to reflect those years growing up in the 70s, the 80s. And you know, we've come a long way. Even up my age now, I had not appreciated the importance of this menstrual hygiene in terms of as a community challenge. Remembering those guys, you know, boys could even tease them. You remember? You could tease them, could make jokes, you know, cheeky, and growing up in primary and secondary and all those things. And then, you know, the quietness, how girls could go into a quiet corner. A girl is seated, it's break time, she can't step out, you understand? You know, so confused, because probably what she, and sometimes it can come at a time, it doesn't, for women in the house, it doesn't tell you that tomorrow it will be coming. I mean, it can come, is that so? It can just, you can find you are doing so well, walking in, and you find something, is that so?
Yes.
So you find a lady. I remember, I've gone back those years and remembering a girl getting out of school now, running away. And then a lady went to visit a boyfriend, and I was still young, a cousin of mine. And then they came to our house at night to ask for my sisters. They didn't want to tell us what they were asking. They were saying, we came to learn that they were asking our sister, an elder sister, whether she had something she could use. You get it? Very complicated communication, because we were kept in the dark, because it was, as they say, is it abomination? I mean, it was like a taboo, isn't it? A taboo. So remembering our days makes us now appreciate what menstrual hygiene is and where we come from. And of course, we had sisters, I had 4 sisters and 4 brothers. And you know, those days, blankets, isn't it? Very unhygienic products. Blankets, nakatwa, napata blanket imekatwa, ile ilikuwa imetupwa. You know, understand all those. So today, I'm here as a convertee. More so because when you look at development literature in terms of society, Obino, are you listening? You're hiding behind culture. Not hiding, but culture has brought us this far. And we appreciate culture. I don't want to attack culture, because you know culture serves us even as we remove some aspects of that. But culture is constructed. And you remember the theory of construction and deconstruction. What we are doing here is we are trying to deconstruct the menstrual hygiene, the science and all that. That this is a very normal thing, that we need to appreciate it, we need to take care of it, the disposal part of it, and all that. So today here, therefore, on behalf of the governor and the county government of Kisii, we are saying that as a serious partner through the department and these all stakeholders, we need to work together so that we can be able to ensure that the story of menstrual hygiene is actually practiced well, and that at our levels, wherever we shall be, through the department, through all of us, we shall support this journey of menstrual hygiene. That is the guarantee we bring here, that I do not know the approach that sometimes we see those, those young kids, I don't know the embrace part of it, breaking the silence, those young boys and girls at school. I hope you are targeting, that age as they grow, because that is when we don't want to learn at 54 years and above and all that. You're learning about this, so that those boys and girls and targeting them. Remember the issue of the theory of saving. Ule mtoto akona kabanki kake nyumbani, si ndio? Wale bado mko na hizo two banks. Nakumbuka hiyo yes, those nini. You're teaching a child on saving culture, isn't it? So these young boys and kids that we're growing, let's start, of course, targeting them, because then we shall be able to ensure that this menstrual hygiene is accepted, appreciated at the lowest level as we grow up. I think on that note, I want to believe, Waziri, I've not let you down, I've not let Governor down, because after all, what I was to do is to give commitment of government, then open and close the workshop, which I'm going to do, and ask you now that I'm an ambassador and I'm a convertee, we work together and we achieve this together. God bless you. God bless everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Bwana CS, for those nice remarks, and thank you for being a convertee today. Yeah, and thank you for the commitment that you have given us from the county, the department, on behalf of the governor. We appreciate you. And as you go back, then take our regards. Say that we feel honored for this support, and we are ready to work together, and ask him that wherever we ask for any support, let him be ready to support us. But already, of course, you have committed yourself on behalf of the government on the same. So with those good and nice remarks from the end of our governor, I feel that now we can proceed. I don't know what was the next move. I love to wish to return the mic to you, Madam Chief.
Thank you so much, Madam CS, the CCM, and also our account secretary, sir, for this honor to come here today. We are very much indeed honored. When you see a father in the house, even when there is food, no food, so you know there is food. Now take into consideration that our mother and father here, we are now well fed. When we are going to take lunch, we shall be full before even we eat the lunch. Thank you so much for coming. We can give them an appreciation, all of them together, in a special way. And I'm seeing the SMH is writing and is not appreciating all of us. How we give the appreciation, this one is very good for everyone because it caters every person, the one we wave and also the one we clap. But I know our colleague is here and we are waving using the hands today. Thank you so much. Now, our way forward is now that we are supposed to have a summary of like 5 to 10 minutes because our time was supposed to be finished by 1 and I had promised that by 1 exactly we were supposed to finish our meeting. So I'm requesting Director Ngware that please allow you to use only maximum 10 minutes to have a way forward so that we can be able to deliberate and finish our meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chief. Mine will be very short. One is to thank the CS for coming, and we would like you to go back and tell Governor we are very glad that you represented him, and we will be coming to him for further support in this journey of MHM. Now, the next thing we were to do is the way forward, but what we will do, because we have taken down all the concerns from all the departments and stakeholders, basically we have cultural issues, availability of the products, sanitation in terms of water and soap, safe places, and the disposal of the menstrual materials. So we are going to sit down and develop a matrix, an implementation matrix, which will spell out the role for each department or stakeholder. Then we will share with you. Then we'll see how we are going to move forward after that, so that we can have the roles for each and how often we'll be meeting to review our progress and the indicators we are going to measure. Having said that, I'll then call Dr. Machiko, the Director for Medical Services, to give a vote of thanks and call somebody to pray and so that we can leave for lunch, then thereafter to our...
Good afternoon once more. Well, while seated there and listening to what has been going on, I thought that the votes of thanks started much earlier when our CC Good. So, indeed, all participants here from the county government of Kisii, supporting partners, the media, we are grateful for what you've done. And before I demonstrate the transformation, and indeed, my CS went ahead and said that he's a convertee. I closely follow as another convertee and declare myself publicly that what I've gotten here is quite significant. But before I demonstrate that, I wish to call someone from the USAID to give, comments that should be shorter than 1 minute in duration as we come to a close. Someone from USAID?
Thank you so much for the opportunity, and I truly appreciate the sentiments that we've had, and as the director has said, we've captured them, And for us, one thing that we want to commit is we want to commit to work with the county. And the only good thing is that we'll work based on your steps. If you decide to stagger, we'll also stagger. If you decide to work chap-chap, we'll certainly do that. I always want to liken the kind of work that we have with Busia County. The governor is the MHM champion for the LREB region. He's working so fast to a point that we are trying to catch up. And I believe from the commitments that we've had from the county secretary and others, it means that this is the next county that will be trying so much so that we also catch up. And based on that, we were streaming this so the commitments are live. And later on, we'll also come back now to remind each other that we made these commitments, what has become of them. So we want to truly appreciate the county secretary, the CEC and others for this wonderful opportunity. And as I still want to reiterate, we promise to walk the talk, and we promise that as the USAID Western Kenya Sanitation Project, we are out to support when called upon. Thank you.
So I think the first person I want to appreciate is Dr. Onkware for bringing USAID. Now I know they are streaming live and I will not make any commitments. Thank you for that. CS, Madam Kisii, Chief Officer, Director Public Health, and the other directors present, partners, and delegates to this meeting. I'm grateful to be part of you today. And mine is to give a vote of thanks, but I'll not do it the conventional way. So today we're in another meeting, and Dr. Onkware insisted that I should be part of this meeting, and I joined him. When I was coming in, the issue menstrual hygiene, I didn't really know how I'm coming to fit in. But when I signed and I moved to the table after the registration, and I found a lady there with so many gadgets, and I'm calling them gadgets because I only know a few of them. All right. So I saw something there, like what they used to measure tots. All right. For those who know what that means. But it was plastic and collapsible. So I stood there and she asked me, do you know what this is? And so I looked at it. I was trying to play smart, but eventually she caught me. And I learned it was a menstrual cup. So you can see, in my area of specialization, I think I'm amongst the top in terms of knowledge. But there's always something new to learn. I'd heard about it theoretically, but I hadn't paid particular attention to that. So I'm imagining that all of us coming here, we have had something to gain in terms of knowledge and what to take home. And indeed, I want to believe, as we leave this place, we are all going to be champions in terms of advocacy, policy, and all in as far as our county is concerned. While seated here, I actually realized there's a policy and strategy to this effect. A strategy 2019-2024 and a policy that spans up to 2030. But I walked in quite ignorant of those facts. Now I'm leaving, and I think I'm fully or better placed now to champion and be an advocate for this. So to the organizers, thank you for the platform and the opportunity, and the media for taking this information wherever it needs to be, the supporting partners for providing the platform, and indeed the Department of Health for availing or calling the necessary people here and working together with the partners to ensure that this goes out. What I know is this particular engagement will bring about change. And Dr. Onkware, as you stood here and you are saying in our offices, where we should be leading by example, actually, is where we lack most. So probably the only commitment I'll make that can go live is that we'll work together with Elizabeth and those who are concerned to ensure that we actually lead from example in the offices where we stay. So to everyone who has come here, starting with the CS, feel that what you've done today is really important, not only for the occasion that it is, but for prosperity in terms of, the knowledge that we've gained and the implementation process that will follow. With those, I want us to all appreciate ourselves by standing as a way of thanking ourselves. And you know what they do in Parliament? Do they clap or they stamp? All right? So we'll do 3 hearty claps, and then we stamp thrice, and then after that, Elizabeth will pray for us, and then we can proceed for the meal. Okay, so we start the 3 claps and then 3 stamps. 1, 2, 3. Well, it was just a 1 round. So thank you so much. Thank you for the entire organization, maybe.
Yeah, thank you, Daktari, for that nice vote of thanks. I would request, before you leave, please visit that table Daktari was talking about. It's called Menstrual Lab, and learn about those products. Okay, so
Let's bow and pray. God the Father, God the Son, God the Holy Spirit, we come before you. We thank you for the gift of life. More so, we want to thank you for the gift of everyone who is here. And Lord, we thank you for the gift of our county government of Kisii, for they have joined us, that we have had commitments from various departments and stakeholders towards menstrual hygiene, Heavenly Father. Thank you, Lord, because we know we are going to move forward and the silence is going to be broken. Lord, as we are leaving this place, we pray for journey mercies. And Lord, we want to pray for the food before us, that you bless it. In Jesus' name I pray.
okay, thank you very much.